Hello, what's up? It's me, Salisha, and welcome back to Black Hair in the Big Leagues on the Salisha Show. You guys, I'm so excited because the person who I have on today, before I got to meet her, before I even really knew who she was, I knew who she was. And I remember coming across it was either her profile or just knowing that she existed and thinking, wow, this woman has it together. She has it all. She is so beautiful. She is so accomplished. Look at her hot husband. It's just what a beautiful life. And I, meeting her in person it was just realizing how humble and how kind she is it really blew me away. So let me just introduce you to her. 9 Broadway shows, folks. West Side Story, Anything Goes, Nice Work If You Can Get It, Annie, Cinderella, you guys, Holiday Inn, Anastasia, Tootsie, and most recently, Spamalot. 9 shows. She and I look the same freaking age. Who has time for 9 shows? Okay, TV. She's on TV and movies. She was the recipient of the Legacy Robe. You guys remember that? It used to be called the Gypsy Robe. You have to have done a lot to get the Legacy Robe, out of the whole cast. She's a mother, the wife to a fitness god. Okay, she's humble. When I got to meet her recently at the Black Women on Broadway Awards luncheon moment, and she just has this soft appeal. And I remember asking her if I could interview her, and she said, why would you want to interview me? As if she's done nothing, as if she didn't have this extensive list of credits, as if she wasn't guilty by association of being in this room of incredible human beings. You guys, I'm so excited to talk to her today. I have to know how she does it all while making it look so easy, and how she has figured out the perfect balance of being incredibly stunning while also extremely approachable. Y'all, please help me welcome Shina Ann Morris.
Oh my God, Joe, thank you for that. Oh my God. Okay. Also, my computer is I'm gonna rip these headphones out. So sorry. Thank
Do
you for
whatever you
that.
need to do. Do what you need to do. Are you having any technical difficulties on your end? Are you
No, they're
okay?
just because my computer is so old that I cannot connect to the Bluetooth, so they're just tying me down. I'm like, I have the Delta In Air flight headphone.
Okay, you mean these Delta Interflight?
And I hate how they go in my ear. It's gonna be, excuse me for, this will be my one hang up if I.
You know what? Don't worry at all. I completely feel the exact same way. And I have technical difficulties all the time. So if we need to pause or anything, we can. But Sheena, how are you today? How are you? How's your heart?
Oh my goodness, my heart is so full after the Black Women on Broadway luncheon on Monday that we got to actually meet in person. I was not well. I was so I was having several moments. I was um, just in awe and of our peers and people I've looked up to for years and decades, and just the room was, it was too much for me to handle. So I was so appreciative to be there, and I was like, what in the world?
What?
I was very nervous at first because I'm not sure if I mentioned, oh, we spoke for a couple minutes. I was so nervous to be in there because there's not a lot of people, I think. There's so many people in our community, and it's also such a small community, but at the
Yeah,
same time, I don't know so many people. I know
right.
of them. I've never worked or met them, and
Right.
especially in uh I've never been in a Black centric show, which was one
Mm.
of the but I saw Beautiful a million times. I don't think I got to see you in it, but I was like, there's no words to put in this beautiful show. So I've never got to be, in a Memphis or a Motown or something that
Yeah.
split
Or Dream
up.
Girls?
Yeah, no, oh no, no, no. Um, uh, so I was feeling very overwhelmed by being in this room where a lot of women that I look up to and I'm in awe of hadn't ever got the chance to, or I was like, I feel like I don't have a lot in common. And thankfully, Nikki Renee Daniels and I were in Anything Goes together. And she's done, a million other things, and she's
Yes,
going to be
I was so happy to meet her. She's awesome.
amazing. And also a mother doing it all, like, her husband and I were in Tootsie together, and she has two children, and just she's like in our short stack notes. I know she's in like our short stack note. My husband is like, how do we gather information about like schooling in the New York City area? And we were like, oh, Nikki and Jeff are wonderful. They're both of their children are doing incredible things. So it was nice to see her there, because I was like, I don't have any tether. I like don't know anyone to talk to at this event. So I was
That
very
is,
happy to be there. But
I felt the same way. At first, I did. It felt very like, when you're not offered a plus one, it's like you never know. Like, what if you don't like make friends, if you don't know anybody? But I looked around and I saw a few other people like nervous. I'm like, oh, we all feeling, how is it possible that we're all feeling like the same way? But after a couple of drinks and a few hors d'oeuvres, I I was feeling just at home. And I don't know about you, but when the ladies started reading everyone's name from the stage, like even the women who were not in attendance, who were not in the room, they named every Black woman performing on Broadway, and it was so powerful. Like it felt like, holy crap, when did I get here? This is, and so I would like to ask you, like, I know you are 9 shows deep right now, not counting readings, workshops out of town, like not even counting those, but like, how can you walk me through, like, what was that? When did you get your first show?
right, yeah, and it's so funny. Thank you for asking. I have to. I graduated from University of Michigan in 2008, but I couldn't remember how to say 2008. So the recent class just graduated, and they had like a little alumni panel before their showcase about a month ago. And I came in there. I was like so nervous. I was like, I don't know how to talk to Gen Zers. One, I was like sweating. And then I was like, two, I didn't know how to say the year 2008. I was like, I graduated in 2008, and they were like crickets. Like they
Oh,
didn't comprehend what the year was. Like, you guys are just born. Cool. And so I graduated in '08, moved here, and um, after our showcase in the summer, and then I auditioned for West Side Story, the last revival, so the 2009 revival.
hmm.
Um, I guess it was 2008. It opened in 2009. Yeah. About 6 times. So when I graduated, I auditioned a bunch of times. That was still when, disclaimer, I was ethnically ambiguous because my hair was black. I was dyeing my hair black at the time. I spoke enough Spanish, and this was like still the world pre
Yes.
realization of,
Oh,
are we?
yes. I get what you're getting at. I was like, wait,
So
what?
I'm like, I can't be in West Side Story now. I am not Latina. I West Side Story is one of my top 3 favorite shows ever in the world, and so to be in the Broadway revival was amazing. To be directed by Arthur Lawrence was amazing. I was one of the first replacements right after the Tonys. So my Broadway debut was
That's amazing.
at like July 2009, and the only show where I've ever had to, or yeah, audition on the stage. So they were doing
What?
like super immediate replacements. Yes, and I forget the story, and then I was recounting it with some of the alum. Um, there were like 4 of us, because I'd been in about like 7 or 8 times, whatever. And they were like, okay, we have an immediate replacement. You're gonna go to the Equity Building. You're gonna dance and sing, whatever. And we were on 46, and Palace is on 47th. And then they were like, cool, actually, Arthur's in rehearsals right now. They're doing a bunch of stuff. You guys bring your bags. We're gonna go. literally on the other side of the building, like on the other side of the street.
Oh my God.
It waits in an alley, like the theater's alley that looks like West Side Story's set. I was like, are you kidding me? So there were four of us hanging out in our dance clothes, being like, they were in the middle of a rehearsal. So then they all left stage. The music director, Arthur Lawrence, their casting all comes out to the front, like couple aisles. We walk on stage while the rest of the cast is like hovering in the backstage area in the house and stuff. And we have to dance and sing our songs and read the
What? No, this
Never
is
happened
like
to
one of
me.
those stories that you would read about in like Golden Age
Right.
Broadway.
When they were like, we all rehearsed on the stage and auditioned on the stage. So, and I heard what I thought I sang and read, and I heard Arthur say, oh, she didn't get it. So I was like, great, I'm gonna pick up my bag and I have to go back to my day job. I'm late for my restaurant job. And then the next morning, my agent called and I was like, you can't do this so-and-so show that you have just been offered because you're gonna do West Side Story on Broadway. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
what he said, but I guess I misheard him and he said, well, she got it. So that was like,
Oh
yeah.
my God. That was your Broadway debut? How dare you? Oh my God.
And now it's newly renovated and I can't wait to go back. But yeah, so that was at the Palace where I actually saw my first Broadway show. Aida was the first Broadway show I saw in 2004. And so I was like, I'm on the Palace stage where I saw my first Broadway show. It was pretty spectacular.
That is like wrapped up in the most beautiful bow. Like, what on earth? What? That's like that's incredible. That's the kind of thing you hear about in movies. So, okay,
And I forgot about it. Yeah.
can I ask you about the space between, because obviously we know how this story goes, but between 1 and 9, what was the story between your first and your second Broadway show? Because I sometimes feel like the first one is like, was it a fluke? Can I do this? Did you ever feel that at all? Or were you like, let's go, what's the next one?
Yeah, you know what? I think so. Thankfully, I was in it for two rounds of holiday parties, which I feel like is a good game in my mind. Now, having been in a bunch of shows, to say like, oh, if you have one holiday show, you ran for enough time for them to like spend money on you to have a holiday party. If you ran for 2 holiday parties, you're like, oh my gosh, we're sitting in it. I feel like there aren't that many shows that get to do that. So I was lucky enough to be with West Side Story for like a year and a half. And I could have done it forever, especially because I was so young.
Right. Oh,
At the end of America, which I'm so grateful for. I wouldn't have been able to do that. But while West Side Story was running, I auditioned for City Center Encores. They were doing Bells Are Ringing, and Kathleen Marshall was directing, choreographing that. And that was actually one of the last encore shows that were actually still a concert, where it was like, we're in blacks. We have like we were still holding the binders. We had some dance numbers, but like we put the binders down to do the dance numbers and then pick them back up. That was like 2010. So that was where I first met Kathleen, who is one of my most favorite director choreographers to work for. And she is so loyal. And so I got Bells Are Ringing, and then she was casting Anything Goes like the following spring.
Okay.
So then I had to go in, I think, to sing and read for Anything Goes, and then booked that. So West Side Story closed in January 2000. Our producers were like, you're closing January 2. We were like, okay. And I started rehearsals for Anything Goes that following February. So like a month, I had like a month and a half off, and then started Anything Goes. Then had like a break because she was like, I can't take all my Anything Goes people to do nice work. She took some of them. So some of us went later. So then I got to do anything nice work. So
that's nice.
Yeah. So Kathleen is a wonderful human being, and so I didn't really have a big lag in between those 3. I would say between nice work and Annie, and then in between Annie and Cinderella was like the like scary gap, which I think all artists have. And to your point, you were asking, you're always thinking about the next one while you're in it. And I think West Side, because it was my debut, I was like, I could sit in this forever. I think you mentioned in when you were in Beautiful, you're like, I could stay in this show forever. You're like,
Yeah.
that was the one I think that I've had the chance to be in that long. So my biggest lag was the COVID.
I mean, honestly, that's like a thing. Like, and were you able to stay encouraged? Like, how did you get through that time?
It
And
was very hard. Okay.
no, I mean, you can keep answering. This is kind of a piggyback question to what I just asked, but whether it's COVID or any time where you have ever been discouraged, it sounds like your life and your career has been in such flow. But if there was ever a time that you were discouraged or you did get the rejection that you were like, "What? That one stung," or during COVID, how do you get through those hard times, Shina?
Right. So I would say one of my biggest ones that I'm like, okay, girl, it's been since 2019. We can put it in your journal and like leave it alone. It's still during Tootsie in 2019, I was in the final three ringer for the Disco Donna for the tour.
Oh.
I was like, this one is mine. 2019, I had knee surgery in 2018. I had
Oh.
like recovered. I was feeling amazing. I was like, I'm strong. I'm in class. I'm doing everything. I was like, this one is me. I am ready to be disco. And finally, I was like, oh, I'm in a place where I feel like I can handle this role. Because I've never really done roles outside of like a couple regional theaters. And so I was ready. I was like, this one is mine. And again, thankfully, I was in Tootsie at the time. So it wasn't like I put all this energy. Now I have, not something else to put, I was in a show. So I still had some artistic way.
Yes.
And I had a job. But I was like apologizing to my dressing room, being like, I'm sorry, I'm going to be a dark cloud for I don't know how long it's going to be because this is like the role I thought I had, and everything is supposed to be as it was. But I was like, that one is still like, that I was ready to be like, we're going to have to, my husband's going to live, and we lived in Hell's Kitchen at the time. And I was like, you'll just come see me on the road like every month and I will be doing this. So that one was gut wrenching. And then, but I still felt like I think that was 2019, sadly, was like the top of I felt like I was all across the board. I felt confident. Then the pandemic happened. And then I was, so to try to fill the void, which I think a majority of us felt, I was like, what do I do? For a minute I was like, well, I'll do my nails, I'll like have like funny things. And then it was, all I kept thinking about was chorus line. Like, what do you do when you can't dance and when you can't work and you can't do this? And I'm not a creator in that way of finding, I found so many, friends and peers that were like, I'm going to create this. I'm going to make this like either a podcast or like literally make with my hands. I didn't really find that. I did teach for a little bit. We had, a million online platforms come on for teaching. So I taught in my apartment for a little bit. I get like very anxious leading up to teaching. And then once I'm in the space with everyone, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you all. And I ended up teaching like toddlers for a minute, which was very hard to do on Zoom. Because I'm like, hey, bring the phone back over here.
Right.
Mama is paying us to like do something. And then I did teach some like high schoolers and college students repertoire, which was fun for me because it was like, oh, I get to revisit this show I haven't danced in a minute. And then I'm dancing on my floor and being like, okay, so pretend I'm doing it like this. A YouTube video of me doing it like this. So that is what I did in the middle of I feel like biggest discouragement, but it was also very hard. I had 2 miscarriages during the pandemic. So trying to go through that, navigating something that I had never known before. And again, I'll say like the timing was terrible because we were like trying to family plan and I didn't have a job to feel not forced to go back to, but we have so many friends and colleagues that were like, I went through this horrible thing and then went to work. And some people need that escape. And I also, like, physically, I don't know how anybody could do that, let alone emotionally. So I had
Whoa.
time to just, sit with it and be like, we're gonna go travel or we're gonna do this. But that was another part of it. Then I was like, I'm getting more discouraged, and so
Sheena, first of all, thank you for sharing that because I feel like it's something that I've been doing a lot of research. I have not started to start having a family with my husband yet, but he is really chomping at the bits. But so I've been like doing my research and listening to my friends, and it sounds like miscarriages are so common, but people don't really talk about them. And so you even just saying that as casually as you possibly could, like it just is like it's like this is thank you for like bringing awareness to that. And since then you have had a beautiful a
we
little
do. Her name is Celestia. She's a wonderful, almost 2-year-old. She is like dreams and curious and the most empathetic little loving child I can even imagine. Oh, every day I'm like, how are you this? She just like wants to nurture, and she wants to like hold everyone's hand. And I'm like, some people don't want to hold your hand right now, or they're your hands, or she just like walks up to people and she's like, hold. And I'm like, baby, don't. Some people want their space. So that is what we're going through right now, to be like, how do we let this wonderful little human say, like, show her loving, and also be like, some people want their space.
oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And you guys look so happy. Like when I see couples looking so happy, I do the zoom in. I'm like, okay, that is real joy in their eyes because I'm so scared. And so when I see people like, I'm like, okay, they look like they've been changed forever. Like, okay, this that is what it seems like. And so, how have you been able to, like, how did you balance? Were you in a show when you got pregnant? Were you not in a show? How did you do the math? Okay, 9 months, I need to heal. I'm going to get back to work. Like, what was this process for you? How did you do it?
In my dreams, we did get pregnant when we were still living upstate. So during the pandemic, when it first started, we were in Hell's Kitchen. We're on 42nd and 9th because my husband's gym is on 39th and 9th. So it was like, we moved there. I was still on Broadway. We were like, this is
She's talking about Mark Fisher Fitness, y'all. Just because I know her last name isn't Fisher on this call, but that's what she's talking about. Mark Fisher Fitness. Keep going.
Yes. So we moved out of the city like mid-pandemic upstate. So we had a bunch of friends there. And then we ended up buying a house, which we're no longer living in because I don't know how some people can do it, but I don't know how Hudson Valley commute is like an hour 40 on the train, or like an hour 40 drive if you don't hit traffic. So it was like too much to do with the toddler and a show schedule. So I was like, that's not for me. Some people can make it work. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a night owl. So, uh, so we were pregnant at like 2021, 22. So we had our baby 22, and then I guess it was early 23 when I did so we were living upstate. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what happens. My dream, sorry, that's where I was back to. I was like, oh my gosh, once I have the baby, I'm gonna like strap her on me. I'm gonna like do workouts. I'm gonna go for walks, whatever. I had an emergency C-section, so it was not exactly what I envisioned. So my recovery time was enormously different. They're like, you can't use stairs when you have a C-section. I'm like,
What?
well, my only bathroom's on the second floor and where my bedroom is, but the kitchen's on the first floor. So I was like, I guess I'm just sleeping in the living room. So stuff like that. Like, you're not allowed to drive a car because it's like it's like abdominal surgery, which you don't think about. Like, to move your foot from like the gas pedal to the brake, you need to use all your abs. So they're like, you can't drive for 3 weeks. So I was like, how am I going to do anything I'm supposed to do? I'm like, I need to like go and do things. So that like took a little bit of my original planning away. It's fine, and I've healed now, and I feel like I'm finally almost to like regaining strength prepartum or pre-baby. But that was a huge like chunk in my world, and I think it would have been different if we were in the city, because I would have we live in an apartment building now, so I would have been able to take the elevator or whatever. We had stairs in
Right.
our house. So, and then I was like, will I ever work again? What do I want? Just mostly like time and we have a pretty easygoing baby. So I tried to do some like virtual classes and things. And then when she was like 7 months old or something, I did the PBS special for the greatest performance, the 50th anniversary of like great performances PBS.
Oh, work.
So that first postpartum thing, and I was so nervous. I was like, I haven't seen any of my friends in person. I'm like, haven't danced in person. I was like, will I even be able to kick my legs? I
Good
haven't done
night.
it.
Good night.
Thankfully, it was like the loveliest room. Warren Carlo was amazing. Everyone, there was like, a little ensemble group, and then we got to usher in the legends as they went on and off stage. And I was also losing my mind because I was like, I haven't been in this space that's
Right.
artistic, and I was just similarly to the ladies' luncheon, the Black Women on Broadway. I was like, I'm not gonna make it on stage. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh my
It
gosh.
away. I was just so emotional. And I think now being a mother, I've always been an emotional human. And now I think it's like exponentially, it's like a million times more that I am like crying at every moment to be grateful and whatever. Which is
Oh.
sometimes embarrassing because I'm like, girl, it's like an auto commercial. Get it.
Good night. Not an auto commercial.
Something hilarious. And then it is like times where we're like, it's 50 years PBS special. Like this is like Andre DeShields walking out on stage singing.
Yes, it's like icons.
Like Donna McKechnie coming on and ushering us. We do like 5, 6, 7, 8, and she walks, introduces Robin Herger. Like things like that where I was like, I am not okay.
Oh my God. That was your first thing back post.
I was like, cool. Just on a screen in forever time. And then Spamalot. So thankfully I did the DC run, and then we got to, get ourselves together for a couple months and then do it here.
Shina, you are Broadway. Like these are the stories that you read about like when you're in college and you're like, I want to pursue musical theater. Like the stories that you're saying is like what you would think like Broadway. Like, can I ask you something that is like it's more surface level, but I just need to know. And also like, I'm sure you care too, since you have fitness is like a part of your life. How did your body like physically like were you able to get your abs back? Like how did you get back so fast, or how long did it take you to feel like I look not pregnant now after you were?
You know what? I think it would have been different, and there's nothing I can change about it. When we were living upstate, I was in the house mostly, and because we had to drive either across to Beacon, where we're like an 8-minute drive to Beacon, where a bunch of
What? Ooh, Beacon is so nice.
Yeah. So we lived across the river. We could see our old apartment from our house, so we lived very close to our friends. But the first, honestly, like 9 months of postpartum, I was at the house and not really doing much besides going up and down the stairs and trying to breastfeed, which was not our journey. And so I did exclusively pumping for a little bit, and then we had to change into formula mostly. But so it wasn't the journey I thought. And physically, again, coming from a C-section just took a lot longer. And I was going to pelvic floor physical therapy, and thankfully I had some acupuncture and stuff. But it was, I think, because I wasn't not forced, because I wasn't in a show or a show trajectory. I think I gave myself more time to heal in a different way, which I had never done before. Also is terrifying because I was like, can I literally kick my leg again? Like I'm sitting like forward, hunched over motion, pumping and doing all this stuff there. I was like, my hip flexors are forever changed. Like my body's forever changed. And so I didn't go back to the gym until we moved back to the city, which was right before her first birthday. So it had been like a year. I would do like some yoga at home. Yeah, because when we were living upstate, the gym just wasn't close enough, and with her schedule, and because I didn't have a community of one sitters that I trusted up there that I do here, it was so different. I think childcare is so different.
Jeez.
Or so, yeah, so that was very hard. So I was like, how am I gonna do any kind of dance? So going back to the PBS rehearsals, I was like, I'm terrified. Thankfully, we had like 2 weeks rehearsal process. Um, so I would say in my mind, it was not the way I wanted to do, because in my dreams I was like, month postpartum, I'm gonna be working out, I'm gonna do this. And like if we had lived in the city, I think that would have been different. So I gave myself time to heal and strengthen my core, I think, doing some yoga and doing some, like functional movement and Pilates and things. And so then I finally felt confident and strong enough right as Spamalot opened, because
Okay.
I knew we started rehearsals for the DC in March 23. And then we were like, okay, we found out in August we're going to open in October. So I was like, okay, I can start doing like, give myself lots of
Oh,
grace, like 3 months ish.
okay.
I guess a little, once we got the offers, because none of us knew in March if we were coming. So it was definitely not like, I definitely didn't feel confident enough to be in a bikini. And I was like, this is going to be horrible. My body has changed. I am a different human than I was
Right.
pandemic. And that's what I just kept trying to tell myself over and over again. And so I did not feel confident being like, you're going to have to do the Macy's parade in your bikini. Cool. That felt horrible. And then I got
Oh,
injured right after, and then had like a spinal injury I was like out for a month and a half. So I couldn't move
what?
for 3 months. Yeah. Um, so that really took me out, because I was like, once we're open, I'm going to get in a routine, and this is the first show I've done postpartum,
Yeah.
first show post pandemic where we're like in a routine. And I was like, this is going to be amazing. I finally feel now I'm back at like my neutral. So now I'm like, okay, now we're strength training again. Now we're doing,
Okay.
but it was a couple of wrenches in the things. So at least I got to close Spamalot when we closed in April, but I was out for like a month and a half. So that was not fun.
When you work out in the city, do you always go to Mark Fisher Fitness, or do you go in other places? Like, do you have to
So I
sneak to
did.
other gyms? Does your
Oh
husband
wait.
know?
Oh my
What?
gosh. Right. Yeah, he was always like, are you doing research? Are you cheating on us?
Right.
Uh, when we used to live above the gym, and then we moved to like 3 blocks away. So yes, when we lived pre-pandemic, we lived right there. I would go there every day, because I was like, yes, it's right there. It's literally above us now. And even, um, I would go, like cross train. I would do like Pilates, in the square, or in Union Square. And I would do, like row house and some other like fitting room and other kinds of circuit training things, just to
Okay.
get a different vibe, because I can get in a rut for a little bit. But now that we've been back, since we have a fitness center in our building, it's so easy. When she's at daycare, I'll just go down there, or before she wakes up, go down there. So I still want to get back into classes. And now that my injury has like subsided, I am very ready to go take a dance class and
Okay.
which I will be very humbled at. Um, I have like no like internal muscles, like none of my tiny little ones are working. So I'm like needing to go with some friends and wrangle. We're trying to like get the courage to go. So yeah.
The courage is so wild. I feel like you're just already just so confident. And you rock a blowout, okay? You know how to rock a blowout. Your hair, whenever I see photos of you, seeing you in person, even now, you've got a beautiful blowout, which makes me want to go. I just did wash day, which is why my hair is sopping wet right now.
It's
But
beautiful.
oh my gosh, I'm like, it's not even dry. But whenever I see my friends with a blowout, Sheena, I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to go to dry bar. Somebody hold me back. Because once I start, I will not stop. But how do you, okay, so you're so physical. How do
Mhm.
you keep your hair looking good when you're
So this
sweating?
is a lovely, yes. So this is what I was thinking about earlier today. I was like, so if I can, my postpartum breakage, I've always had, so I'm a creamy crack girl. What does Carly Hughes say? She's like, we're the creamy crack, we'll never go back.
The perm?
I,
You do perms?
yeah. So I
Carly,
do
not you
actors.
quoting Carly.
Carly Hughes.
I've not
Yeah,
met her personally, but we've talked.
yeah, I adore her. And I've had my mom and my sister that have gone like their whole natural like chop off big chop and like go through all the journey of coming back to their own hair, and it's amazing. And I think I missed the boat. I should have done it during the pandemic. now that I have a baby, I'm like, there's no way I have the time and energy to decide what my hair texture could be in my brain. And I know other people do it, like there's certain ways to do it in a timely manner and do it
There's a
whatever.
million different things.
And
This is your journey. Keep going.
Ashley Blanchett. I mean, I've had so many of my friends be like, Sheena, just do it. And I'm like, I also hate the shape of my head without hair around my face. When you get like the wig cap, when you get like the when they do the prep to make your wig, I'm always get this off my head. I hate the way it looked. And when I do like slick back looks, like for the luncheon, like some people, it's so funny, don't even recognize me. Like I've known friends for decades that if my hair is pulled back and slicked in a bun, literally would walk past me and not even see who I was, because just that's for so long. So that's my part of my identity, which I'm also trying not to do because it's the India Arie. I am not my hair. But when I go back and like, but then like, I'm not, I don't have like this lovely, like beautiful head of hair. And it's been through now postpartum.
Looks good to me.
Thank you. The lighting must be perfect. And I think
I
was just doing laundry right before, and the laundry room was so steamy. I think it like softened the curls.
Oh my God. You are so ridiculous. It looks so bomb.
My has like these beautiful curls, and because I have never had curly hair because I've always relaxed it, I'm trying to like figure out,
what to do.
Yeah. And we have Alicia Charles told me about we have like a little like kid spray that is supposed to like help their curls, and we have the denim brush. And so I'm getting things, but we're getting to the point where like daycare will do her hair because we have a lot of wonderful Latina girls that are her teachers that will like do her hair. Right. So she's like slicked back, and I'm like, how did you get it so slicked? Because I cannot do that to her, and I need to know how.
That's real.
Yeah. And I just also, I think because I grew up in middle of America, Kansas, in Wichita, Kansas, where it was all white people and me and my sister, I think part of what we were, my mom was like, Black is beautiful. Here's Addie, the American Girl doll on heels, like black dolls and all kinds of hair textures. She definitely instilled that in us, but just like with the kids we were surrounded by, we were like, no, I want to look like this girl.
I mean, when you're surrounded by, that's how I was too. Like all my friends, most of them are white, and I'm like, I want my hair straight too. I want my hair down my back like my friends. Like I want my ponytail to go. Yes.
Pony. I can do a very small low pony, and it looks like a rat tail. So I'm like,
good night. Oh my God.
I cut my hair then. Because I was like, in February I was like, I'm gonna do the chop. It's not gonna be a big chop. I won't like shave it, but we'll like wrangle it because postpartum the loss is everywhere.
Really?
It's like everywhere.
Is that like that's a thing, like postpartum?
Yeah, and people's hair are different, right? Like I think the longer you breastfeed, I think the hormones are different. My sister's hair is like luxurious and long. Mine is where the mic goes is broken in the back, and that I thought I would get back. And then just my edges have forever been changed from wigs, and then postpartum the edges are the first part to go. So I'm finding that.
But that's unfair too to you because you work so consistently. You're probably always in a mic. You are always having pins digging in to your edges. When I'm in a show, the middle of my hair, I'm like, where is she? What is this? What is this? It's like 3 inches. But I'm like, it's so unfair. I mean, it's easier to cover up, but you rock, like, I like it's like very, you're giving newscaster. You're giving like.
Thank you. That is actually the role I've been cast most in TV as. I've been three newscasters now. Thank you. And when they do it, if it's not the right person, which you've talked about on your show before, when it's like, you're like, I'm going to go take the curling iron in my dressing room and I'm going to fix this. Because like sometimes the way that they do it, I was like, well, that is too much of a helmet. I need some movement in her.
Right.
Diane has been one of my newscaster names. My favorite Midwest, but now it's my only look. And I'm like, I don't want to be Diane on the street.
But
figure out what my
okay, wait. There's something to be said about having a signature look though. Because I feel like the people who we look at in history, in like celebrity, like every last one of them could be made into a cartoon character. And it's hard to make somebody into a cartoon character. I'm saying this as a compliment, even if it's coming out a little weird. It's hard to be made into a cartoon character if you don't have a signature look. Like think of what?
Talking to yes.
Wait, who'd you say?
Oh, sorry, like Betty Boop.
Yes. Like Betty Boop. If you were to look at Stephen what's his name? Stephen Colbert, you could turn him into a cartoon character and know exactly who it is. If you were to look at Hillary Clinton while she's running for office, like you know exactly who it is. Like there Beyonce has so many different looks, but you'd probably still be able to know who she is, like if turned into a cartoon. So having like a signature look, number one, and number two, a signature look that has actually grown out of your head. I used to have a signature look that it was a wig. And one of my guests during the show was like, isn't that crazy how we could have a signature look that isn't even ours? I was like, damn. Dang. Like, it really made me think, like, wait, what do I? You know? You found that.
Yeah. I think it's just a certain way, like now I'm in a habit. I'm like, well, I don't like seeing my ears, so I need them covered. Certain things, which is why I love having a wig in a show.
Okay, I was going to ask you.
Some days when it's like styled horribly, you know, because I'm also, that I think was the other thing I was so nervous about going to the Black Women on Broadway, because I for a long time was always like the token in a period piece show, right? Like anything goes and nice work. There was like always just one Black person. And thankfully, like my wigs were like softer, but like 1930s, 40s, whatever is lovely. But I'd always rather wigs. And then when they took them out of it, I was like, can you just leave her down and can I keep her? Like, you know, when they're not styled, I was like, I'll take it, please. They're like, it's going on to her. I'm like, but I don't have enough to pay you, but can I have it?
So I was going to ask you, you do prefer to be wigged in a show always?
Yeah. And I've only, I did right before the pandemic, did Unsinkable Molly Brown off Broadway, and they made us wear our own hair, and I was like, this is not gonna go well, because it's a period piece, but you're making me do my hair, but my hair is short. I was like, good luck, it's gonna look horrible in every picture. Yeah, I was like, I guess we'll do it kind of half. I like pinned this back, and that was it. I was like,
have you ever had to, and it might be the Unsinkable Molly Brown, it might be a different show, have you ever had to have and did have a hard conversation about your hair, whether it was on Broadway, off Broadway, on set somewhere? Have you ever had to like be like, hey, this is a thing? Or have you just gone along with whatever?
Yeah, you know what? I think again, because of, and we've had so many friends and colleagues that have gone through a very hard conversation, and some that have like not gone well. I've never been, I think because of the pieces that we're in, right? Like for West Side, I was in like a blonde wig because I was Coco, I was Consuela. So I was like, give that to me. And it was like we're all maids and Hooverville people. So I also think because I've been in shows where I don't really have, as an ensemble member, there's also not a lot we have to negotiate. And I hope that is still changing. We're definitely like talking about it more, but there's a lot. I've never been shamed to have any of my hair in wig prep. And I know a lot of friends that have. So I have not ever had to do that. I've actually thankfully had several wig supervisors or staff, you know, be like, oh, this is a product I would use on your hair if you want to try to do this for opening night or something. I was like, oh my gosh, bless you, because I have no idea. I'm like, when I'm in a show and we're in rehearsals and tech, I'm like, it's going in a hat and then it's going in wig prep. Why would I ever do it? Which is the other thing. I was like, how am I going to do this? So I don't think so. And now looking back, you know, like especially during the pandemic, when I think a lot of us were sitting and like playing back things, I was like, well, was I ever shamed, or was, you know, like, did I brush it off, or did I don't think so. Because again, being wigged, I didn't really ever have to worry about my own hair.
Right.
And Molly Brown was such a short off Broadway that they were like, do whatever, here's your costume. They were like, we were like, I make my own costume. This is kind of crazy. But again, they didn't.
I've been there.
Yeah. No, but I think I'm definitely more aware, and I was aware previously, but I think now having Celestia, our daughter, trying to be like, how do I also not let her see me getting frustrated at my hair when it's not doing whatever I want today, being like, it's gonna go in a it's gonna go in a hat or a bun or something, and also like trying to embrace her hair. And we have no idea what her hair is gonna be like, because it's
Right.
not like my mom's or my sisters or even my cousins. Um right now it's, because I had such a struggle growing up with my hair, like not being manageable when I wasn't relaxing it, and like not just because we didn't have the tools back then in the 90s in Kansas, like to
Oh
know
my
how,
God, I can't even imagine. Literally,
like,
Kansas in
yeah,
the 90s.
correct. So like the struggle was different, I think, than it would be now if I were trying to do that as a small child with a mom who was like wanting to help, and she was like so supportive and doing whatever we wanted to feel good. And I want to be able to help Celestia be like, okay, if I wanna, I don't know, we don't know what her texture is going to be. Right now it's like beautiful spirals like yours, and like
Oh, girl, this is 3C, but this is like more, it gets into the four. So, like, this is just wet. When it dries, it is big.
oh my god.
But yeah, your child is gonna have these soft. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and yeah, mostly I was hoping for her life, as like there are so many other things in the world that we have to worry about. Such a giant part of my growing up was worrying about my freaking hair. Like
Yes.
people, like this one boy actually who was also a black boy. He was like the only other black boy in our like middle school circle of friends. He shamed me so hard in front of our white friends because that's what he did. He was going through his own thing, as middle schoolers do. But he
What?
reached out to me in college to like apologize, and I was like, no, you're literally dead to me.
Oh,
I was like, you ruined my like whole, I think, and again, like I'm an adult now, I can like take ownership of, I can change that now. But I was like, you like ruined my perception of myself at like the crucial time. Even though my
oh.
mom was saying like black is beautiful, you're gorgeous no matter what. Like, I had people to say that. But so what I'm hoping for Celestia is that she doesn't have to, I hope that is not a big concern of hers. She can embrace her hair, or like see like I can wear it all these ways, instead of being like, I literally like can't go to summer gym if my hair looks like this, right? Like stuff
Right.
that I did when we were little.
Yeah, like there's so many more resources and like I don't know curly hair examples, but also like there is the freedom like you as your mom like as being a mom. I don't know what it's like to be a mom. I'm not there yet. It's coming up. I can feel it, but I'm not there yet. But I imagine there's like a lot of pressures around you. I kind of feel like that's why my mom was so strict about me. Like she's like has these pressures that she's dealing with and but I think we are living in a time to where there is a way to make sure that your hair can be straight and still healthy. There is a way to just wear your hair natural and just be as well. Like this new generation can kind of like have it all. And one of my best friends, she is a curly girl. And her daughters are like growing up like you, like around a lot of white people, like their best friends are white. And they're going through like they want to straighten their hair. And she's like, listen, I love their curls, I love my curls, but this is what they want. So like kind of like live, let live and enjoy life. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like and
Until she told me otherwise, I'm doing her hair. Like, I'm like, you're getting a little pigtail, you're doing a little bow. And then until she tells me what she wants, like if she wants a mohawk, we're gonna do a mohawk.
oh my God. Does Mark ever do her hair?
Not yet. I mean, he has like brushed it in back, but we don't really like braid it yet. We're both figuring it out. It's so easy to work with right now. But the other day I was like, you have to get her ready for Easter. I need her hair to be in these two barrettes and these two bows.
Oh,
He was like, how to do it? I was like, it's literally a clip.
you can do
Like,
this. You can do
get
this,
down,
honey.
get down. I was like, you got it. You could try again. Guess what? It's not like the brushing, and we're still working on that. So yeah, I can't wait for him to like want to do her hair. For him to be like, I can do her hair, to feel.
Right. Right. I know I'm like dads, they do their best, but it's never like the mom.
The
Um,
vacuum videos are my favorite, when they're like, I got the ponytail. I did it with the vacuum tube.
oh, I don't know if I've seen that, but I'm imagining it. You might have to send it to me on Instagram because, like, what? If I
Yeah.
saw my daughter's hair in a vacuum, I'd be like, Babe, babe, what? I leave for 2 seconds. Sheena, you are incredible. I'm gonna have to go by Mark Fisher Fitness, and check that. My husband was like, "Oh, is that $1 deal still going on?" We were going through all you guys' stuff. Like both of you guys were like, like scouring for a photo of your abs together. It was so weird. Oh
One
my,
of the first photos we ever took, it was Broadway Bears 2012.
I knew it.
Never since will I take a picture like that again. But
Really?
oh, I guess I'm in a corset, so you actually, I'm not midrifty. He's like fully naked, but
I was like, we're gonna have to catch them at Broadway Bears. I bet you anything they'll both be at Broadway Bears. Let's get a ticket so we can.
now it's too late. Now it's like 9 o'clock. We're both in bed.
Yeah, right. I don't like to go out. Like, anyway, yes, I feel that. But
Yeah.
how can people find you?
I am on Instagram. I think that's the only one. Shina Morris is just the two names for that one.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's all.
At Shina Morris, folks. Shina Morris. You guys, thank you so much. Sheena, thank you for joining me today. You are so lovely and also like a wealth of knowledge and experience and wisdom. Oh, and one last thing before I let you go. If you had to give advice to anybody coming up after you, what would you tell them?
Anyone ever or in our business?
If there was a young girl who looked up to you, who wanted to follow in your footsteps, who was like in high school or early college or college at all, what would you tell her or him?
It's so hard, and I feel like so many people say it, but like, I don't know. I guess I have two. It's one is like dive into anything that you're interested in. I feel like so many things I was like, oh, I don't have time for that, or I don't have money for that, or I feel like now I don't really have as many hobbies. And I know I can still have a hobby at any age.
Hello, your nails. Don't you do nails? You love.
Oh my gosh, I am taking my. I used to do my own nail art pre-baby. Now I don't have.
You're good at it.
I'm going. Yeah, I used to do my own. I was obsessed. That was what I was obsessed with when I was little. This is paint box nails, but
Cute.
yes.
Hobbies.
I think try to like explore as many facets that you're interested in as possible, because if we're talking about anyone that wants to be a performer, like, yes, you have your performing life, but nothing informs it without that. And I know everyone says that, but like,
It's true.
oh, it's so true.
It's so true.
Should have been a Girl Scout still. Would have had survival skills. That's also learn survival skills. Learn how to like change your own oil in a car if you have a car. But if we're in the city, you don't need it.
No, that is so true. You have to have a life so that you can live a life on stage. If it's all about theater, then nothing is informed. But thank you. That is great. Thank you for spending the time, and congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much, Salisha. This is so nice to speak with you.
Thank you. It's so mutual.
Yay.